For senior leaders who move into these VP roles where they're the most senior leader in their organization, there's often this shift that can be really challenging. What got them there is their successful operational and strategic leadership. As a director, they were knowledgeable and competent and had expertise in their area and used that to lead their teams and their projects effectively. As an AVP or dean, they had to shift into strategic leadership, pulling together the expertise and resources and making all the puzzle pieces fit together. Now, as the visionary leader, that expertise is getting in their way. They need to shift into a different role as a leader. And what makes that challenging is all the things that got them this new role, they now need to begin to let go of. As senior leaders, one of the things that you have to do that's very counterintuitive is let go of the knowing so you can move into being. Let go of your competence, your expertise, your knowledge, not because it's not valuable, but because something new is needed of you when you're leading an organization, when you're leading vision, when you're leading culture. In fact, your expertise can be an obstacle. Needing to know the answer or have been through this or learned about this in a previous role or learned about this in grad school can be what prevents you as a leader from maximizing your team, getting as many perspectives, and absolutely leading through innovation, change, and creativity. There's a professor from Harvard Business School, Linda Hill, who studies leadership for innovation, and she talks about how leading for innovation means we have to let go of conventional forms of leadership. Conventional forms of leadership are very top-down, expertise, know-it-all, have all the answer, direct. Give the vision and then make people follow you. In Hill's research of innovative companies like Volkswagen and Pixar and Google, she says a new kind of leader needs to emerge. She talks about the leader moving from the source and the star, which is our conventional leadership, to the leader being the architect. They're not knowing how everything is going to go, and they're not saying this is what we need to build and making people build it. They're saying, what do you think? What do you think is needed? How do we pull this together? How do we navigate these contradictions and complexity? And the architect is able to evoke the best from all the people on the team, organize it, pull it together, see the pieces, become the vision, but really help everyone contribute to the vision. In this leader as architect, or as I often like to talk about it, leader as facilitator rather than knower, we don't have to give up our knowing and our expertise and our knowledge. That's still valuable. What we have to do is we have to move beyond it. We need to not be limited by it and keep going back to it, back to what we're familiar with. We need to move beyond it, to extend beyond it. So we also bring in the knowing and the expertise and the competence from all the people around the table. So that we're not giving the vision, we're organizing a collectively created vision. So that we're not moving things to completion, we're helping get the insights from everyone on the team and helping everyone move forward. It's less about me and more about we. This means in meetings, you're not giving the vision, giving the plan, telling people the roles, asking if there are any questions, and then moving forward. You're saying, here's the challenge. What do you think? What do you see from your perspective? What are the legal implications? What are the financial repercussions? What are going to be the implications for students? How might external partners view this? I'll tell you a little story. When I was doing my coach training, my mentor coach who was observing me doing my coaching would say, Keith, you're really great at this. You're often saying, recommending a book or a TED Talk or sharing a piece of neuroscience and insight about how the brain works in terms of helping people change and transformation. I said, thank you. And she looked me real close and she said, I want you to give all that up and be the coach who doesn't know anything. And I felt so found out, so seen, and letting go of that, it was a recognition that I was going back to what I knew, what I was familiar with, and she wanted me to let go all of that so I could be fully present, fully in service for the client. I still offer insights in reference books and podcasts and TED Talks, but I do it much less because that reminder to be the coach who doesn't know anything. So how might, as we move from director to AVP to VP, might we need to move into being the leader who doesn't know anything? And rather see that as a deficit, how could that be an asset? So that we're not centering ourselves as the source or the star, but being the architect who facilitates full engagement, collective vision, collective problem solving and execution. So we're doing the design thinking and solving the most challenging problems that we're facing today. This is the kind of leadership transition we were just talking about earlier today with some of our Evolve leaders, moving from the doing to the being. I was just talking about this with a coaching client last week about letting go of all the expertise and being the facilitator of this incredible leadership team she now leads. If this is the kind of thing that you're exploring in your leadership journey, let's connect.